these kind of things do happen a lot in the NBA. It seems like team gets off to a big lead, the other team makes their comeback. What's the important thing to take out of that, the way the second half went, if anything?
I mean, we want to continue to get better. I mean, that's all a part of our season. So, we learn from the good things that we did tonight, and we learn from some of the things that we didn't do so well.
Frank said the idea in that third quarter is to play your guys, you and AD, extended minutes, thinking wouldn't have to use it in the fourth. Is there anything you have to do mentally, even when being up that big, to just make sure you're staying engaged in case something like that does happen?
You always got to be engaged until the clock hits zeros. And that was me personally the whole game.
To start the first quarter, really, right from the jump, you guys had a little bit of an extra step. Anything collectively that you saw that was going to precipitate that in the way that you played in the first half?
No, we just wanted to try to get off to a good start, continue to protect home as much as we can, and understanding that they played an exceptional game the other night against Portland. It's a very good Portland team in their home building. So we just wanted to try to make our mark to start the game.
Did you ever feel in danger of losing this game? How concerned were you at the end?
There's always a fear of losing. I go into every game with that fear. But you just work your habits, you play the game, you play it the right way, and let the chips fall where they may.
LeBron, what was your reaction to the news of David's turn?
What was my reaction? Obviously it's bittersweet. The bitter part of it is we lost a great visionary. I think him and Dr. James Naismith is two of the most important people for the game of basketball. Obviously, Dr. Naismith, because he created the game, and then David, his vision to make this game global. Don't know how many people believed in that with him or thought it was something that couldn't be done, but he made this game global, where this game is watched in over 200 countries, 200 countries, 250 countries over the world. We got, you just look at the collective group of players. You got the Giannis and the Dirks and the Manus and the Lukas now, and so on and so on. And it's, I think you got to give him so much credit because of that, because he's just seen the game being so much greater than just in the States domestically. So my IG post, obviously, for me personally, it was a dream come true to step up on that stage and shake David's hand. Knowing where I come from, and then just gaining a relationship over the course of my career with him. That's great, and my prayers and condolences goes to his family.
Did he say anything to you that day? When he crossed the stage, it seems like he's always shared messages with guys in that moment.
I don't know.
It was just such a blur.
Yeah. I don't even know if I even heard my name being called. I think somebody had to push me up there. I was so ecstatic to be in New York City. It was my first time in New York City, I believe. Second time in New York City. But just being there with my family and my high school best friends and all that stuff, it was so much. So I know for sure I remember that handshake. I remember him giving me that hat. And I remember that handshake, and I would never, ever forget that.
What do you learn about business? And all your
You know what? He did tell me something in the back when all the rookies was in the back. Mm-hmm. He told me he wanted to wear my suit one day. I won't forget that. He told me that in the back. He said, "You think I can borrow that suit one day?" I do remember that.
In your mind, is he the GOAT among sports commissioners?
Yeah, listen, he paved the way, and now we got another GOAT at the helm. He just, what he did for the game. I think he came in and was like 80 what? I know the exact date when he became the commissioner of the NBA. It was 84 or something like that. It's almost like it was perfect time. It's like MJ coming in, and David takes over, and he just builds the game to a point where he knew that he had another successor behind him in Adam that could keep on going. But his legacy will live on forever, especially in this game. That's for sure.
The sport grew in your guys' time together. Did you learn anything about business in your time when you guys were on the opposite side of the bargaining table that you maybe take with you as you move on in your own?
I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to kind of reflect on that as far as the player side versus the league side. With the coaches and the owners and all of that nature. I haven't really reflected on that, but. We had our battles, that's for sure, trying to figure it out. But also at the end of the day, we also understood that we want to do whatever it takes to help grow the game. And that was the one common goal from both sides. Even though we had our differences at times at the round table, it was one common thing that we all left that room and said, how can we continue to build this game and expand this game to where it is today?
Sorry about that, LeBron.
What did Phoenix do to get back in it, you feel?
We made shots, we didn't get stops. That's simple. Yeah.
Did they turn up the aggressiveness, you feel like?
No.
Okay, just simple shots.
No, they got in their early offense, but they made shots. I mean, that third quarter, I think they went for 38, I believe. Book got going, got to the free throw line. Kelly got going as well. Aiden hit some tough shots, but I don't feel like they didn't turn up the pressure. We didn't really turn the ball over as much in the second half. I had 4 personally, but we still was able to get some pretty good things offensively.
There's always the hope. High in points. You know what you're going to get from him defensively. If you can get that kind of production offensively, how much does that help?
Yeah, we've been just trying to figure out ways how we can get him back going before the injury. The injury, kind of had him out, got him off rhythm, and today we made a point of emphasis to get him the ball in his spots, and he took it upon himself to be aggressive, and it was great to see that, especially offensively.
There's always that hope to find, 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there over the course of a season, to take off of your minutes played in any given game. How much do those stretches matter for you in terms of how fresh you can be in the playoffs and things like that?
I don't know. I really don't think about it, and I can't start thinking about the playoffs when I'm living in the moment. If the game presents itself or presents a challenge or presents an opportunity where I can get some rest, then I'm going to take full advantage of it. Excuse me, guys. What's up, bro? Huh? Everything closed. Y'all, you solo? Just you and the, oh, yeah, you got the crew. All right, hit me. I'll hit you soon on later. Yeah, I mean, if I can get a couple minutes, it works for that game, and it may work for the next day, but I don't know.
Every commissioner in league's history up to this point has had something named after them. The Maurice Podoloff Trophy, it's MVP, Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy. Any suggestions of what should be named for Stern?
Haven't given no thoughts yet, but the visionary that he was, the impact that he made on this game, he definitely should have something named after him. That's for sure in his league. Either if it's an award or I don't know, a day. During the course of the NBA season, the David Stern Day. I don't know. We can figure it out. Obviously, those guys in New York, they'll get around a round table and figure something out as well. I know how important he was to Adam himself, but it would be pretty cool. Obviously, look what the guy done for this game.
Last question, please. Do you, Frank said his intention was not to bring you back in after he sat you heading into the fourth, I think. When you're in that kind of situation, do you mentally, is there a shift for you that, okay, I'm not coming back in, and do you have to reset yourself if you do go back in, or do you wait until?
No, I said I'm going to stay ready. He didn't tell me that he didn't intend to bring me back into the game, but he kind of gave me a look, and I told him I'm going to stay ready.
Okay.
So I was ready for whatever.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.